I don't even know why I'm making a disclaimer, because when you click on the video, you can see how long it is. But yeah, the video is long. I'm a professional yapper. I literally have it in my YouTube bio. Double speed is recommended, and I mean that. But I like rants. I like to rant, and I like listening to rants. You know what I mean? And this is like 12 different story times in one. They're vague because I'm trying to be respectful, but yeah. Yeah. And I also just want to say that I don't know if I've said before what this YouTube channel before, but if this video doesn't make it, what this YouTube channel is for. But if this video doesn't make it painfully obvious, this video is mainly for fucking me. Like, if you cannot tell. Like, this is just gonna be so fun to look back on. But yeah. And it's also for the people, because I hope that people can see how I look at situations and maybe take anything they find valuable from it. Obviously, you don't have to do exactly what I do or think about things the way I think about things, but I think I had an interesting perspective, and I would love to see YouTubers I watch do something like this, except I know talking about stuff like this, some people can see as problematic, but that's why I tried to keep everything vague and like not give anything away. So I feel like when you're like that, it's fine. Like, I'm not trying to make a messy situation with anybody. I don't want that. I literally don't. But yeah, this channel is for me. And I'm just like, I love this video because I feel like there's so much growth in it. But y'all wouldn't know because y'all didn't know me in high school. But like, man, or even at the beginning of college, like, I'm so different. I'm so different. And like, I didn't even feel the change. But just speaking on these situations, I can see the change. Anyways, for how long this video is, I shouldn't be ranting like this. But yeah, that's my disclaimer. But I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know who would want to watch a video this long, about, especially about somebody they don't even know. But hopefully somebody's entertained. Hello, you guys. We're switching up the filming setup a little bit. This is different. Let me get my feet out of there because that's not free. Those are my songs. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to film the whole video like this, and I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I have my AirPod in, but I don't know if the AirPod... Freaking low battery. I don't know if the AirPod is like microphoning or not. So I'm going to try to project a little bit. But today, we are starting the Forgiveness Chronicles, except this, I only have like 2 videos in mind for this. I'm not really trying to make it a thing for real. But yeah. So first I'm going to tell y'all what inspired me to make this today. First of all, I listen to audiobooks at work, and I'm starting to listen to If the Sky is Falling. It's called Even If the Sky is Falling. And at the beginning of it, there's like an author's note, and she's talking about a song. I'm not gonna edit no song in, so let me sing it for y'all. This is not my real singing voice, disclaimer. If the world was ending, you'd come over, right? You'd come over and you'd stay the night. Something, 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 elephant. All our fears would be irrelevant. So she's talking about how she likes that song, and it just got me thinking like about like what I would tell people if I found out the world was ending in like an hour or something. In this video, we're focusing on people I've fallen out with, but when I was thinking about that at work, I was thinking about everyone in general, that like people I've fallen out with, people I haven't fallen out with. But today we're thinking about people I've fallen out with. So yeah, so for today's video, what we're gonna do is go over everybody I've fallen out with. I think I counted, I had like 12 people come to mind, and this is like high school up, because anything below then, I basically don't care. Like I don't even remember for real. So yeah, I actually am gonna film this not all in one part because I just got home from work and school. So I'm gonna do like the first like 3 people, and then I'm gonna take a nap because yeah, and my battery's low, and who knows what's happening with space on my phone. So we're just gonna start off slow. Here's what we're gonna do for everybody. An unidentifiable name. Unidentifiable as in y'all are not gonna be able to figure out who these people are. Like, you just not. So like an unidentifiable name or like description, and then an unidentifiable story time. So people who watch this still are not gonna be able to necessarily figure out who I'm talking about. Unless you like know me and you know my life for real, but you have to like really know me to know. But yeah, and then I'm going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how much I forgive them, how much I care, how much hope I see for them to grow, and how much I grew from the situation since then. Yeah, that's the right amount of things. And I can't look at my phone. The notes are on my phone, but I can't look at it because I'm recording with my phone. But yeah, this is a cute setup though, I feel like. I have a gray comforter right here, and it matches my bed better, but I'm cold, so I use 2 comforters. So yeah. So first we're gonna start out with, we're gonna call her homegirl number 1. Homegirl number 1. Okay, so this is a group of 3 homegirls that we're starting out with. So it's homegirl number 1, homegirl number 2, and homegirl number 3. Basically, at some point in my life, I aired out some grievances with them, and that ended with us falling out. So yeah, and they honestly each moved differently, so that's why we're talking about them all separately, because not everything was the same for each person, but there were 3 of them. So homegirl number 1, for more of a story time on her, I'd say she moved a little off in the beginning, but she started to pick up like really fast in terms of like maturity and stuff. So yeah, we ended up basically, like, I guess you could say reconciling like a couple months later, and we ended up being really cool for the most part. We just don't talk now anymore because for me, it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary for her. We could both have a conversation right now for real, but like I just think we both don't necessarily feel like we need each other in our lives. Like there was nothing that happened, like we literally just stopped talking, but I don't think either of us care, if that makes sense. Yeah, we didn't really have no problems for real. But yeah, so that's about it. I'll say like out of the 3 people, she like, I don't know, she stepped up the quickest. Like she's, out of the 3 people, she's the only one who I like stayed in contact with after the fact. The other 2 people, it basically like ended with that whole thing, you know what I mean? So how much do I forgive her? I would give her like a 7.5. And then I could go into more detail. Let me say why 7.5. Let me give her an 8, because she like really, she did her big one maturity wise. Like I feel like low-key out of all of us, she was one of the most mature about the whole situation. But my only thing about it is when people kind of know, okay, imagine there's 2 sides and people kind of know who's in the right and who's in the wrong, but they still hold on to both sides. It's kind of sticky with me, depending on the situation. So that's why she's like not like a 10 out of 10, because the sticking to both sides was a little bit weird in my opinion. I feel like when you know someone was wrong in a situation, if you never let that be known, it's kind of like validating both sides, you know what I mean? But when, not to say it was a clear wrong, but like if you don't like acknowledge or like try to tell someone that they're wrong about something, that's when, but you think they're wrong about it and you're kind of telling other people you were thinking they're wrong about it, that's when I find it a little bit weird. So my only thing for her would be that she probably should have let both sides know her opinion on things, if that makes sense. And then yeah, how much do I care? I think currently in my life it's like a 3. It's just not relevant in my life anymore. When it was relevant, I think I would give it like a, maybe like an 8, because at the time it was very, I don't know, like she did her big one for real. Like she was like sort of a good friend in that situation. So how much I care now is like a 3. How much I cared at the time, I guess you could say like an 8. Like at the time I really appreciated it, or like appreciated her doing the best that she could do at that time, if that makes sense. I said how much I care, And I said how much I forgive, I think. Growth in sight is kind of like a 9. Like I already said my kind of like iffy part about her behavior. If she just like fixed that up, I think she was on track. She was on track for like being up there. I'm forgetting one thing. Oh, how much did I grow from the situation? I think I grew like, I'll also give myself like, I'm gonna give myself a 10 out of 10, but let me just say 9 out of 10 because I feel like it really changed how I go about things in life, and it definitely set the tone for how I actually, now I have to give myself like an 8. I have to give myself like an 8 because I'm still working on it, but it definitely set the tone for how I feel about communicating with people or communicating my grievances with people specifically. I hope y'all can hear me because I'm so far back. I need to check again. So yeah, that's homegirl number 1. Homegirl number 2, we like stopped speaking like immediately. That's really all I have to say about that. And just based on how I feel about it, first we'll talk about how much I care on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give that like a 1. You know what I mean? Like some people, it was just like I needed a reason to not be friends with that person anymore, if that makes sense. How much I forgive them, I think like a 3 or 4, because I can kind of understand why they did what they did, but just based on what I have seen over time since we fell out, I'm not sure how much growth was inside for that person, if that makes sense. Like, I guess I could say, like, I'm not sure if they would move any differently now, you know what I mean? And if they wouldn't, then it's like, you know what I mean? And then, but also it's like a mix of how much growth I see for them and how much I care. So that's why it's like a 3 or 4. And then how much growth I see for them, I'll say like a 5, like 50-50, because one, I generally don't know, like that person is so far removed from my life now that I just don't know. But when I did kind of have an inkling, it was like, it seemed like not much had changed. And then how much I grew from that, I'll give myself like I said, that whole situation, I give myself like a 9. But when I think about that person specifically, I would give myself like a 2 or something, because I don't think I had to learn anything about that. Because the problem, I would say, when it came to me, was I had knew how to stand up for myself, and I did that with that person. Like there wasn't really much else to learn, if that makes sense, because what I needed to learn from that person was to stick up for myself, and that's what I ended up doing. So yeah. And then homegirl number 3, she was very weird about it too. Like I would say she was in the middle of homegirl 1 and homegirl 3, but she never put in the work to like make things right, which I never really understood, but that's like up to her, I guess. So yeah, that's how I would describe her part in the situation. And then how much I forgive her, that is kind of like, I guess like a 5 out of 5, because it's almost like she didn't do anything, but the fact that she didn't do anything is very questionable. Maybe I'll give it like 5, 6, 7. I know it's like a range, but like, yeah, she didn't do anything, but like the fact that she didn't do anything was also like weird and like kind of disappointing. How much growth insight I see for them, that is also like a 5. It's like 50-50 because they're so far removed from my life, I don't know. And 2, at the time, it just seemed like they were so okay with playing Switzerland, if that makes sense. I don't know the history on Switzerland, but like basically what I'm saying is like they didn't do anything when they probably should have, you know what I mean? And they seemed okay really staying like someone who would do nothing when they could do something, you know what I mean? How much I care, it would be the same as I gave for homegirl number 2, or like 1 more. Did I give like, I don't remember what I give for homegirl number 2, but I'll say like a 1, 2, 3 range. I think, did I give homegirl number 2 like a 1? And then I would give homegirl number 3 a 2. Again, that person's just so far removed from my life now, and they're just not someone who I would be friends with now, and not even like in a I dislike them type of way. That's just like not my type of person in general. Yeah, and then what am I missing? 2 things. I said how much I forgive them, how much I care, growth in sight, and then how much I grew from that. For that one, I'll give myself like a 4. I think I had actually, like, for the amount of time I had known that person, I had spent a lot of time kind of trying to gently push them. Probably not even gently. At the time, I don't think I knew how to do it gently, but I had been trying to push them to be someone who did something about things and did not just play Switzerland, because playing Switzerland is not always the answer. And I guess what I learned from it was like, try a more gentler approach, I could say. But I think sometimes with that person I was gentle, sometimes I wasn't. But I definitely grew up to be more gentle and trying to guide people in better directions, if that makes sense. But yeah, is this boring? I mean, I'm having fun, but I feel like watching this might be boring because it's less tea. But I will say this one is kind of harder to have tea on, but the other ones coming up, maybe it gets more tea-full as we go on. But yeah, that's the first part, I guess. Not the first part as in what I'm posting first, just the first part of this video. It's all gonna be in one video, but I'm about to go take a nap. This was just my like practice run, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's 3 out of what, like 12. And then next will be on, that was like, no, next will be on, that was like high school drama number 1, and then I'll talk about high school drama number 2. So yeah, on to high school drama number 2. Alright, you guys, this is about to be high school drama number 2. And I think I'm gonna just say, why do I keep doing this without my glasses on? Or did I have my glasses on last time? Okay. For this one, I want to just reuse Homegirl 1, 2, and 3, but actually let me not, because if I'm really, like, depending on how hard I'm about to edit this, I might, I don't know. I might keep a score sheet, like, summary in my description. So let me use another thing. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just say homie, even though really it's the same thing. So this high school drama number 2. So homie number one is really like a mix of homegirl number 1 and homegirl number 3. That might confuse y'all, but basically I'll just say homie number 1, we were cool with the high school drama. Like, really the high school drama had nothing to do with our friendship. High school drama number 2, it had nothing to do with our friendship. So we were cool after it happened. I don't even remember if we talked about it, and if we did, it was very little. But yeah, we stayed cool after that. Graduated high school, I still kept up with the girl, still talked to her. Her life was a little chaotic compared to mine. She used to call me about certain things, and I would be a good friend back, you know what I mean? And yeah, so I just kept up with her. She even ended up, like, I'm trying to keep it unidentifiable, so I got the name, I'm doing the unidentifiable description. But basically, we had been not around each other since we graduated, but we still kept up with each other. I think we still hung out like a handful of times. And then something happened that actually brought us like in a closer vicinity to each other. So I thought like we might actually hang out some, but it didn't end up working that way, just because her life had like other things going on. But I did see her like once or twice, but yeah. So what happened with her, let I guess you could say the girl cut me off, but like, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? I don't think anything happened. Yeah, I don't think anything happened, but it was like years after the high school drama too, so it's like I really don't know. I just like, we keep up, sometimes I keep up with who's following me on Instagram, less than I used to, but she unfollowed me. That's really all I had to say about it, but we were cool though, so I really don't know. Like, I just generally have no idea, and I know for a fact that like nothing happened. I think, like, I genuinely don't know, so I guess onto the ratings. It's just that she was there for high school drama too, and she was still cool with the other people. So I sometimes wondered if that was what was the issue, but she didn't unfollow me on Instagram until years later. So I don't think that was the issue. Maybe she just wanted to find her own life. I don't mean this in like a mean way, like it could come across mean, but I'll just say that like my life had a lot more going on than hers seemed to have going on, and my life was definitely more free than hers was. Like, we just have different lives, different circumstances, so like she was definitely less free than I was in a sense. So I didn't know if that was uncomfortable for her, just kind of like comparing each other, like maybe that was why. I don't really know. That's like really all I could think about, because I don't really know what happened. So my two guesses are that like either because she was still friends with the other people from high school drama too, maybe like years later they still got issue with me, so they convinced her to cut me off. I don't know, you guys. And then, but I think, I don't know if her mom still does, but her mom was watching my stories after she had unfollowed me, so I really don't know. But then so either one, the other girls, the other homies, like kind of got her to cut me off, or two, our lives were just so different that maybe she just felt like distancing herself, which is fine. Onto the ratings. Forgiveness, I would say like 7 or 8, because I just don't know the reason. I'm like, but like also we weren't close anymore. I don't want y'all to think we were even close and then she just cut me off. It was just like we were cool and we both like made efforts to keep up with each other. Like after high school, it's hard to keep up with each other depending on the circumstances, but we were like both actively putting an effort into keeping up with each other. I would tell her the tea on my life. She would tell me what's going on with her. Sometimes she would call me about different things. I'll give her advice. We would bond on that type of thing. But we really were not close by the time she unfollowed me, like at all. Like my life, I think that like the people I hung out with in high school, the way their lives went and the way my life went was so different. And I love the way my life went, but theirs is just so different. Like maybe it was just that, like I really don't know. So yeah, that's why I say 7 or 8, because to me it's still weird that like, I don't know, did she have to tell me at that point? Because we weren't that close anymore, but like I felt like we were still close enough to where if she had some type of issue she could have told me. But I also see how like if the thing was you really just wanted to distance yourself because our lives were so different, that like you didn't feel like you want to explain that. Yeah, that's kind of weird, because I'll say homegirl number 1, we never like had to explain anything to each other. Like it really just naturally drifted off. But it does seem like homie number 1, it was like a cutoff, which is where I'm like, did something happen that I just don't know about? But you know, it's fine by me. It's the same with the homegirls, where it's just like it's so far removed from my life, I couldn't be that bothered about it. I guess I do think sometimes like, that's weird. So onto the rating of how much I care. It's like I'll give it a 4, because I just confused, and I could be confused about it and there was never even an issue in the first place, you know what I mean? So I just be wondering, like I hate when you never know, you know what I mean? And then what else? How much growth I see inside for them. Ooh, I would give them how much growth I see for them. Did I word it right? I don't know if I worded it right, but since I did the other 3, y'all should know what I mean. Like I guess potential for them for their futures. I think I'll give her a good 6.5. She had done things to where she had like really shown herself stepping in like a direction of independence. So I don't think she was there yet, but I'll say like I had seen efforts from her, so hopefully that's where she's going. And I would hope that she's independent and like making her own decisions, because as I said before, I don't know if she don't talk to me anymore because of other people, and that's when I'm like, if she don't talk to me anymore because of other people, that's like where you would lose some points, you know what I mean? But if she made that decision on her own, then it's like, okay girl, period. But you never know. Like this one, y'all can just tell I'm confused. And then what else? I did forgiveness, growth, how much I care, and last one is how much I grew from that. I would give it like 5 out of 5. Like, I don't know how much I grew from it, but I guess in the sense that I'm like, I want to say I'm less bothered than I would have been a couple years ago. But I don't know, because we just already barely saw each other and barely talked to each other, that like maybe that's why I'm unbothered about it. So I don't know if it was growth there or if it was just like circumstances. So that's why I give it a 5 out of 5. Like when I say 5 out of 5, I'm like flip a coin and it's one or the other, you know what I mean? So yeah. And then homie number two, I'm gonna be so for real. I think that I just did not fuck with that girl, and I came to realize it very quickly. I tried to keep it respectful while also maintaining my own boundaries, but I think that after some time, maybe like I just like, you know, when I'll say I just couldn't act like I liked that person anymore when I didn't, and that was fine. Like we actually ended up distancing ourselves first, and to me that was fine. But homie number 3 had a very close relationship to homie number 2, and eventually me distancing myself from homie number 2 is what led to the end with homie number 3, because they had a very close relationship. So when homie number 3, I guess, I don't know what she thought was going on. How do I explain it the right way? I'll just say that like these two close relationships, homie number 3 and homie number 2, in my opinion, it was not the best relationship. And I think I can say this because I feel like this isn't like public business, so I feel like only the people involved are really know. But like one day, I'll say the day it ended for real, homie number 3, homie number 2, I ain't really fucking with the girl, but I think we were low-key still chill with each other. And then homie number 3, I was still fucking with her, we were still cool. But again, these two were like two peas in a pod. One day these two are beefing and they let me know, and I already don't see the most healthy dynamic between these two. And I basically, I don't know how I said it, but what I was trying to get across was that y'all don't always gotta fuck with each other, because I have a similar relationship to other people that these two had, and I'm like, yeah, I don't always fuck with people who I have this relationship with either. You know what I mean? Is what I was trying to say. But they took it the wrong way. I guess, I don't know, they took it in some threatening way or whatever. I don't know how they took it, but this one is like, basically, homie number 3 and homie number 2 is like, if you can't fuck with homie number 2, then you can't fuck with either of us, which honestly was fine by me, because like I said before, homie number 2, I could not act like I liked the girl anymore. You know what I mean? So it was more of a thing off my shoulder, if I'm being so for real. Did I do homie number 2 ratings? I don't think so. So let me do them. How much do I forgive them? I'll say they didn't. I don't even remember if they did much to me. They were just like a handful to be around. I can't remember if they did something to personally offend me or if I was really just tired of them. I think I was just tired of them. So I'll give them a 5 out of 5 because I feel like the problems I had with homie number 2 did not really affect me, but like they had rooms to grow. They had lots of rooms to grow. And then how much I care, that's like a 2. It's low. Like I said, I was tired acting like I liked the girl anymore, you know what I mean? How much growth do I see inside for them? It has been years, man, but let me see. At the time, it was giving like 3, just because some people, you try to have conversations with them and you can just tell when people are receptive or not, and that person was not at all receptive, very selfish, for lack of a better word. When I say these traits that come off the wrong way, I am not trying to drag the person. I'm just calling it like I see it. Like, what was it? Whitney in Love Island said Ella was spoiled or something. Just calling it like that. Like, not even trying to come for her. Just saying like it was giving selfish, and like they were gonna take some time to like get out of that mindset, you know what I mean? That's what it was giving. And yeah, so like at the time it was like 3. After college, like I said, these people are very far removed from my life, so I have no clue. I hope there was some growth, but I really have no clue. I can only speak for at that time. It was giving 3, and that was probably why I got tired of acting like I liked the person, because when you don't see growth in somebody else's future, you're like, you know what I mean? Last one is how much I grew from that. I also get that 5 out of 5. Like, I don't really know. I think that it's just like, it just helped me realize when I don't like people. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things. I feel like now it's been it's been a handful of years since then. Now it is way more clear to me when I just don't like someone, and it's not even like to drag that person. I just know when someone is not for me, and that just helped me figure out like how I can spot that and what I would do about it, which is just remove myself from that person. But yeah, that person was not for me. That's just that. Okay, homie number 3. I basically gave y'all the rundown of what happened and it was between homie number 2 and homie number 3, so I think I don't need to go into much more detail than that. I will say, when homie number 3 removed themselves from me, they were like very abnormally harsh about it, which in my opinion, I did not respect that behavior, because I'd be mad, but like I really don't think I don't think I wild as much as some people wild when they're upset. Like, I feel like I do a pretty good job of keeping my cool. So when I see other people really wilding out, especially at me, it's like, oh baby, no, I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't get disrespectful. I just don't. She didn't disrespect me that hard. Like, she not really, you know, 1, how much did her opinion matter to me? Not that really. 2, I can't even off the top of my head say anything she specifically said to like really hurt my feelings. Like, I just can't even remember. So that's how I know it must not have been like anything crazy. It was just like, girl, who you talking to? Who are you talking about? But yeah, let me rate that. Forgiveness, I'll give her a 5 out of 5, because I just felt like that girl was really blinded by, I guess you could say, the status of her and homie 2's relationship. And when you're letting your relationship with somebody else blind you like that, you don't move with the most sense. Like, no offense, but you just don't. So I don't really blame her for it, for real, but I'm just like, yeah. How much did I care? I would say I cared like a 4, a little bit higher, because actually, no, I'll give it like a good 5, because we were still cool at the time. And the way she really acted like out of character was interesting. I was like, damn, like, what the fuck did I do? Like, yeah, but she acted very out of character, so that was shocking to me. So I feel like that's why I give it a good 5. Like, it hit a little more than I would have expected, because it was pretty out of nowhere, in my opinion. Like, it was really random day shit. Like, okay, that's how we're moving. Okay, bro. How much gold I see inside for them? I'll give them a good 6, because they were level-headed. It was just homie number 2. Like, if you took homie number 2 out of the picture, I feel like they really could have got their shit together. But I don't know. So hopefully that worked out for them too. Like I said, it's been years. I know for me, college has been crazy, and I've changed in crazy ways and drastic ways. So maybe they changed, but at the time it was given a good 6. And then how much did I grow from that situation? I'll give it a 5 again. Were these all 5s for the high school drama number 2? I think it was all 5s, because it was just like, when it happened, I was just like, okay, girl, if that's how you see it, then like, sure. That's all I had to say. Like, it was really like, it was just like, if that's how you see this situation, then yeah, go off, I guess. Like, that was really what it was. That's really what it was. Yeah. So let me think on the other ones. Okay. I'm going from like least exciting / low-key chronological to most exciting. So I'm gonna save my most excited for last. But these next 2 are, what do I want to call this? I'm gonna call this one recent, if that makes sense. So, and what are we gonna call these ones? Well, let's do Pookie's. Okay, so I'll say Pookie number 1. That one was, Pookie number 1 was a long time in the making. Like, that one was wild. I still need to talk with my therapist more about that one, because that one was just unhealthy. I feel like I have to heal just from the position I was in for so long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of good ways to say it, but like, I feel like this one could have left me with trauma. Not like the falling out, but like the whole situation in general could have left me with trauma. Like, I feel like there is still stuff to unpack, and I'ma just leave it at that. You know, that's what future therapy appointments are for. But like, yeah, I'm like, I think the best thing I could say was I'm happy where I'm at now. That's how I'll put it. But yeah. And then for the ratings, forgiveness, I'll give that one like a 5 out of 5, because it is so complicated, and I think I understand the reasons why things were the way they were with that person, but it was not something I could keep putting myself in the face of, if that makes sense. 2, what is it? How much do I care? This one, I'll give it I'll give it a 5 too, because I feel like objectively it's like a 4, because for how long it was, like when you're in a like not the best situation for so long, I feel like because I'm out, I feel a lot like safer now. So that's why I want to give it like a 4. But also because of how long it was, it's like there's like a strong sense of uncertainty, like, because it was such a constant in my life, and now that it's not, there's uncertainty. So that's why I give it like a 5 out of 5. It's like half, oh my gosh, like I think I'm free, and then half, damn, like what's gonna happen now, you know what I mean? And then how much growth I see for them, honestly, it's given 2, because like I said, it was just a long time in the making, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's why I just have to give it a 2, if I'm being so for real. And then how much growth I see for me, I like the whole recent saga. I had to give myself a 10 out of 10, just because, from 1, it's recent, 2, I'm doing things that like I actively struggle with. So like, yeah, that's just how I put it. Like 10 out of 10, because I'm doing things I actually struggle with, and I actively struggle with, and I'm doing it now, and I feel like I have turned a new page. So that's why I give myself a 10 out of 10. 10s across the board. Okay, Pookie number 2. Pookie number 2 was also like a little bit long, but not as long. I'll say that one was just like rocky. Like, I'll just describe it like so much love is there, but that shit was rocky, and that shit was like, I'm rewatching it and I feel like all of my story times are way more descriptive, and this one's like, oh, I still have love for this person, so let me give something, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, why did I skip the description on this one? I would say this one involved some time of just like a strained relationship, you know what I mean? How do I describe it? You know, when like people are like, I was not dating this person, but you know when people are dating and they're like, we need to take a break, but then they don't. It was basically like a while of two people who should have taken a break and did not take a break. I feel like I'm still evading it, but let me boil it down to two things: boy and betrayal. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Unhealthy and just not good for my mental, not good for my energy. But there is even still love to this day. Like, the love is still there, but there needed to be some, like, there just needed to be space, because the energy was just putting me off center. My chi was off kilter, you know what I mean? But still so much love there. How much I forgive them? I give it like a good 7. Still gotta figure out some shit, but I think I'm at a good 7, because my understanding of the situation is still a little bit foggy, but I'm gonna give it a good, I said 7, right? I think 7 is fine. Yeah. Did I just, I'm gonna do that after this one, and then we'll end it off on a bang with my favorite fallouts. Okay. How much do I care? I'll give that like a 7 too, because there was like a longevity to it that like I feel relieved to be where I'm at with it now. But it's still a bit high on the care scale, because there is still a lot of love there. How much growth do I see in sight? I'll give that one a good 5, because I guess if you can't tell, my understanding of stuff is still a little bit foggy, but I would hope that maybe our experience triggered some thinking, if that makes sense, and yeah, some inspiration, if you will. But yeah, I'll just give it 5 out of 5, because I really don't know. It feels like a flip of a coin right now. How much growth did I see? I think I'll give myself like a good 6.5, because it also goes with the 10 out of 10 in the sense that I'm doing things that I actively struggle with now, and I think I'm handling it very well. But some points docked for probably could have done more, could do more, still a little bit more to be done, if that makes sense. Okay, before we move on, because I don't know if I did this before, I'm going to describe what I have come to understand forgiveness to be. And I literally came up with this today, so it's fresh if anybody wants to give their input on it. But I came up with 2 things today when I was driving home from work. One is that once you discuss it with that person, you feel like they're on a clean slate, and you just give them the opportunity to show you different. 2 is you just understand that they're human, and you understand their choices to the best of their ability, and you don't necessarily hold it against them for real. So those are like my 2 things, if that makes sense. I could go into more depth about that, but basically today I realized that I am a forgiving person, and I do give people many chances, if not too many chances. And yeah, that's what I figured out about myself today. Moving on to my favorite part. I feel like I should be closer to y'all for this part. Should we move for the finale? Let's move for the finale. Let's do where I did my last book review. So for the finale, we're gonna do like what I feel like is one of society's favorite topics. And yeah, situationships. So we're gonna call this one fuckboy number 1 and fuckboy number 2. So fuckboy number 1, that one was so, I think the fuckboy number 1 I be struggling with because I'm like embarrassed. That's all I have to say. Fuckboy number 1, I'm just embarrassed. Like that one is just, I think I'm embarrassed, and that's why I probably still hold a lot of resentment, because I'm just embarrassed that I was even in that situation, and I'm annoyed with myself that I even let myself get in that situation. Like, dang, today I would never get myself in a situation like that, I don't think. But like, my mindset back then was really different. Like, it was just really different. Okay, so yeah, I think by the calling it situationships, y'all know what it was. I'm gonna just say that this is where I first conceived the idea that you could involve yourself with somebody in a type of way, if you get my drift, and just be cool. Basically, this is what I really did. I really adopted the belief that friends with benefits was like a real successful thing. And it might be for some people, but in my life, I have come to realize that that is not a real thing. It is just not a real thing. Like, it is not a real thing. It is not a real thing. I have seen both sides. It is not a real thing. It's just not a real thing. Like, it's just not a real thing. It's not a real thing. So yeah, that was my first mistake. And yeah, we don't even have to go into details about that. That's just what I'm gonna say. This is when I first conceived that idea, which I've now come to learn is wrong. I always thought, oh my god, I can just fuck with this nigga and like we can be cool. Like, and one thing I always thought, which I feel like some people, I want to know if people relate to this, but I always knew it was crazy. Like, I realized it was really crazy, is that I thought, oh my god, I can just fuck with this nigga for a couple months. We can just stop and just stay cool. It never works like that. And that's what I generally thought. I feel like some people wouldn't believe that. Like, I have a feeling these fuckboys wouldn't believe it. Like, they would be like, she did not think that. But I did. I really did. Like, I just thought, like, we're just gonna, like, eventually just chill out on each other, go back to our normal grind, and just be cool. Like, just be friends without the... But, you know, I was wrong. I was wrong, you guys. If you can learn anything, I'm about to do an advice video soon, but that one's gonna take a bit more time, so that's why we're doing this first. But if you feel like I'm somebody who can be trusted and somebody who you want to listen to, believe me when I say friends with benefits does not exist. Healthy friends with benefits does not exist. And we're just gonna leave it at that. Ratings. Forgiveness, that one is like a 1.5, because I think that, like, I have low-key fueled myself on hating this person, which is crazy. Oh my god, I literally forgot a whole section. We're gonna go back to that. Anyways, yeah, I have been fueling myself on disliking this person. I can't even lie. That needs to be unpacked in therapy. We're not even gonna talk about it, but like, yeah, I've been fueling my energy on hating this person. Not even that I put effort towards it, but it's just like, I think one day I just decided, fuck that boy, you know what I mean? And I just been like going off that. So yeah, how much do I care? I feel like a good 0.5, like not very much. I think as I talk, you might realize that, like, when it comes to the girlies, I be giving a fuck. When it comes to the niggas, I don't think I've ever given a fuck in my life. I actually have, but like I think once I graduated high school, I knew niggas were playing games deep down in my soul. So that's why I give less fucks when it comes to the niggas. Like, I just do. Especially, I don't know, like, if you just get to know a nigga and then come back to me and tell me if you take them one serious, like. But yeah, how much growth I see for them, I'll give them a good 5 out of 5. I really don't know, because I don't care so much. Just give them 5 out of 5 and call it a day. Like, I don't know what happened to them over the last few years. I don't know if they learned their lesson. Like, I don't know. Okay, and then how much growth for me, I'll give it a good 5 out of 5, because I did learn something, but I then went on to continue this pattern. I have now since ended that pattern, but I did damn near repeat the same thing. So yeah, so I'll give myself a 5 out of 5. It really is a good like 4 out of 5, but we're gonna give myself a 5 out of 5. Lessons were learned. Like, I took little lessons, but I feel like one of the main ones, I didn't get that one. Because I definitely, when I went and basically repeated the same mistake, I moved differently because of fuckboy number 1. But I still went and did another remix that did not work. And that is because I hadn't yet learned the lesson that healthy friends with benefits just did not exist. I'm keeping it a buck, you guys. I'm keeping it a buck. So yeah, my lips are chapped. Also, quick intermission, because when I realized I forgot 2 people that I guess we're just gonna put at the end, because I don't want to have to edit it and like bring a part back to the beginning. We're just gonna keep this chronological. That's how it's easiest for me to edit. But quick intermission to ask the viewers a question. I don't know who's watching this channel, so if you know me but I don't know you're watching this channel, please let a bitch know. Like, I just want to know, or comment or something. Comment a peace sign so I can go to your YouTube channel and figure it out. I'm not gonna block you or nothing. I just want to know, because sometimes I get more views. I have about 6 to 10 people who I could expect to be watching this channel. So when I have more than 10 views, I'm like, who's watching? Or if you're a random, just comment you're a random. Anyways, to continue the situationships, there's fuckboy number 2. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these unidentifiable, unclockable, unless you're in my personal life. But so I need to keep it unidentifiable. Let me think to make it unidentifiable for anybody who might clock this shit. So, you know, situationship, y'all know what it is. I hadn't learned my friends with benefits lesson. This is when I learned my friends with benefits lesson for realsies this time. And that was a whirlwind. But I'll always say I got what the fuck I wanted out of it. Like, I got what I wanted. There's a clip from Ricky's story times. I love her story times. I might include that because what she said just explains what I'm trying to say. When I say I got what I wanted, this is what I mean. Insert the Ricky clip. But
and honestly, the tip is, if a man didn't enjoy it, at least I did. You know what I mean? I think that's fun.
But yeah. So that was just a friends with benefits that ended sour, I guess you could say. Yeah, it just ended sour, and it did not end in, oh my god, okay, let's chill on that, no more benefits and let's stay cool. It ended with the no contact order. Not really, not no contact order. I just removed myself from the situation. And let me explain why I removed myself from the situation. I knew that if I really brought up the issue with fuckboy number 2 was going to gaslight and girl boss, explain to me why it wasn't that serious, and why some things aren't not my business anyways. So I decided not to express my thoughts on the situation to the person because I did not think I was going to be heard. I will say, if the person ever came to me about it, then I would be down to have a conversation. Just at the time, I was just not going to go to that person when I knew in my mind that it would have been a waste of time. And also, this is speaking for like everyone I'm going over in this video. The door is always open, which I feel like is kind of like, some people are like, why don't you reach out to them? I think all these people I'm talking about, I'm okay with it being over for the most part, and that's the point. I'm just saying, if they ever felt like stuff needed to be said, the door is open. Does that sound bad? Because, you know, it's giving like when parents are like, when absentee parents are like, you don't call me, but like then they're like, the phone works two ways. I'm not asking these people to reach out to me. I'm just saying, like, if for some reason they wanted to, they could feel free to. So yeah, yeah, so I just never reached out to that person again. Fuckboy number 2 did try to slip in with the happy birthday text. It did not work on me. I learned my lesson. I'm telling you, I learned my lesson. I'm now awakened. I'm an awakened woman. I know better. So no, the happy birthday text did not work. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, how much do I forgive them? I give them a good like 8. 7.58, because in my opinion, fuckboy number 2 was just being an average nigga, and I was just disappointed that they ended up being an average nigga, but I wasn't surprised, if that makes sense. Like, it was just giving average nigga, so can I really be mad if he's just acting like your average nigga? I would have hoped he acted like better than the average nigga, but if he couldn't at the time, that is fine by me. Not to say like I was collateral damage, but I put myself in the position to be what do niggas do? I guess played, but like I don't think I was played, but like I put myself in that position, so I don't blame him because I put myself there. And if you want to act like an average nigga, that's his prerogative, and I feel like I can't be mad because there were signs, you know what I mean? But yeah, how much do I see growth for them? Honestly, I'll give them a good 8.5. Like, they seemed to know some things. Sometimes I admired them, but the only concern I had is that they don't realize how much more they have to go, or even acknowledge the fact that there could be more growth for them, because they had some admirable qualities, but when it came to growth, I could tell fuckboy number 2 was like, I'm already there, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's not a good mindset. You should always have like a oh, I could grow in these areas, or even if I don't know what areas I could grow in, there probably is a lot more ways for me to grow than I can even comprehend, and I don't think fuckboy number 2 had that. How much do I care? I'll give it like a good 4. I wanted to say 5 because I was just so disappointed. Like, I was just so disappointed. Like, I really was hoping for more from fuckboy number 2. Oh my god, that sounded wrong. I do not mean, I just want to make it clear, I was never going to date this man. I was never going to date this man. And I'm going to just leave it at that. When I say more, I just mean more from them as a person. Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's why it's a 4, because I expected more from them. But like I said before, average nigga behavior, so that's why it brings it down to a 4, because it's like, what did I expect? You know what I mean? And then last one is how much I grew from that. I'll give myself a good 9 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 9, 8.5 to 9 out of 10, because I finally learned my healthy friends with benefits don't exist thing, and I got rid of that delusion that I could do that and then just stop and keep being friends with somebody like nothing happened. I finally got rid of that delusion. Like, thank goodness it's gone, because I really had that delusion for the longest. Like, I don't know why I really believed that was like an option, but for me it is not, at least. So yeah, and the only thing I'll dock myself for is because I don't know how I feel about leaving it how I left it. But I also understand why I did. I just explained it to y'all that I just didn't want to waste my time. But maybe in the future, I'm like, in the future, would I still risk it being a waste of time? Ooh, but another reason why I didn't is because with fuckboy number one, I did risk it being a waste of time, and it was a waste of time, and I feel like I was bitter about that too. But maybe in the future, I should just risk wasting my time again to end things off better, you know, like closure-wise, communication-wise, and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, the group I forgot was bullies, high school bullies, and best believe these bullies were men. I do not feel like I was ever directly bullied, but when I say high school bullies, I'll just say like they were general bullies. Like they did a good job at making everyone's lives a living hell. Not everyone's life, but like more than one person, like just being a menace, just pure menace. So that's what we're called them. Menace number one and menace number two. Menace number one was a menace for so long. I know I said this is after high school, but menace number one was a menace since middle school. And I'm less outspoken than I used to be, but back then I was outspoken. I used to go to bat with these boys, like go to bat with these boys, because these boys were crazy. These boys said, like, I won't say like directly racist things, but racist things. They supported things they should not support. They just treated people poorly, and they were just menaces. That's just how I would describe it. So yeah, theirs aren't really story. Just imagine little me, little middle school me, little high school me arguing with these boys on a regular for just because I couldn't. Like, you know, when someone's personality is so off, you're like, no, like you cannot, no, you're not gonna ruin everyone's energy in the building. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was feeling like. Dang, I used to argue, you guys. I used to argue, like, y'all don't even know. Like, I used to be like, but not like fighting, like, not even like that. I wasn't even like, I was just like, I was always saying my piece, or like, I'm not gonna let someone say something crazy, even if it's not to me. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say something crazy to somebody else. I'll be like, what? You know what I mean? But dang, like, high school was crazy. A certain group of people were crazy. Like some of the boys, some of these boys, wild. That's all I have to say. But yeah, menace number one was just menacing. They were both pretty similar menaces, so I don't think I need to describe it with both of them. Oh, the thing I'll say with them is that when I graduated high school, I was done with those people. I was never friends with those people. I never talked to those people. I don't think I ever even like really followed those people. Like, I was never cool with these people ever. So there was no falling out. I was just never cool with these people. But in college, like a couple years after graduating, menace number one was in my DMs begging to be my friend. What they say about bullies is true. What they say about bullies is true. Like, these people are jealous of you. These people want to be you. Like, bruh. Menace number one really begged me to be my friend, and I straight up told him no. I still have screenshots from the conversation because I can't lie, I was eating that shit up. Like, not like I was believing him, but like it was just like after all these years, like, you want to be my friend. Like, it just said so much. Like, you were such a bully and now you're begging me to be your friend. Like, that's wild. Anyways, forgiveness, I'll give him like a 3. Like, you know when some people are just so freaking, like, such a freaking problem that there had to have been something going on. Like, there had to be a reason why you were that fucking crazy. Like, there had to be. Like, so that's why, did I say 3? That's crazy. But like, I just feel like, let me try to, that 3 is like me trying to have a forgiving heart. But like, you were horrible. I don't care if it was middle school or high school. Some people are like, oh, I didn't know better, da 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 da. I don't really believe that. Like, you were horrible. There's like a horrible that like transcends how young you are. You know what I mean? How much do I care? Like a 1, because that 1 is just purely off them begging me to be my friend. That was, I ate that up. How much growth I see inside for them? 5. I don't know. Flip a coin. Come back to me. It's been years. I don't know what that person's doing. And how much growth from me? low-key, could I give myself like a negative? I kind of wish I was like that. Like, I wish I called people out like that, how I used to in middle school and high school. So I'll give myself a -1 because I need to call people out like that more. Like, when I see something, say something, because I don't do it like that no more. But the way I used to do it in high school, mostly middle school, like I know I did it a lot in middle school. I wish I still did that, but maybe I'm not around as crazy people like that. But like, period. Past Mickell ate that up. Okay, and then menace number 2. Ooh, I hated menace number 2 more than menace number 1, and I think when I only knew menace number 1, I did not know I could meet a menace worse than menace number 1. So menace number 2, bruh, when he was worse than menace number 1, it was like I had to keep myself, like, I don't be hitting people, but like, dang, I've never been tried like that before. Because I really thought menace number 1 was the worst of it, but menace number 2 was wild. I never heard from menace number 2 after I graduated. I think even my senior year, I didn't hear from them. I think I only really saw menace number 2 like my freshman year of high school. Good riddance, like good riddance is all I have to say. How much do I forgive them? 1.5, because they didn't seem like they were gonna change. How much growth do I see for them? 3. I think college can wake you up sometimes, but that one had little hope. I don't know what I gave menace number 1, but hopefully 3 is below what I gave menace number 1. How much do I care? 0. Good riddance is all I have to say. How much growth do I see? Again, same as menace number 1, -1, because I don't call people out the way I used to call people out. And I need to keep doing that. I need to do that again. But yeah. This is actually long. And because I was really just talking the whole time, I think this video will be long. And I'm now worried because this section itself was 48 minutes. And I think the last one was like 20. So this might be over an hour. And I was talking so much, I don't even feel like there's much to cut out. So that's concerning. But hopefully this gets posted in the next couple days. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you define forgiveness. Let me know if I know you and you're watching my channel and I don't, and I'm probably not aware that you're watching my channel. Yeah. And that's the tea, I guess. Bye, guys.